Hey everybody, and welcome back to Horror Film Lovers. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody, and I've got a fun show for you guys. We're going to be talking about our, it is my first, it was a first time watch Friday episode. So we're going to be talking about a movie that I have not seen. I had not seen until now, and I was really excited too because I bought this movie, I think at Second and Charles, I want to say. And I got really super excited when I saw it because it is Killer Movie. And I got a double pack. It's got both uh Killer Movie and Midnight Movie. And I'm gonna be doing Midnight Movie another time, but we're gonna do Killer Movie first. So it's so funny. I bought it, hadn't seen it. It was all wrapped up still. I had to unwrap it just to watch it, and I was really excited. Uh this was not what I expected at all. It is a very like without the language and some of the sexual situations kind of thing, this wouldn't be an R movie. This would be PG-13 because really there's a couple horror things, but it is not really that scary. And I think this was an unrated. No R. This is R for bloody horror, violence, and language. But uh, a lot of times things are off screen, which I'm not really a huge fan of. Like Leighton Meester's death scene in the movie. Oops, spoiler. There will be spoilers in this review. Uh, was it and Leighton Meester's death scene. Her head should have been like chopped off, but they didn't do it. Later they do a chopped off head scenes and stuff like that. But I mean, this killer tends to want that to do that kind of thing. Um, I so basically the story, I guess. I mean, it's a little. I don't know. It's a little confusing in a way, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just haven't figured that out. So the idea is that there's this film crew that's supposed to go to this, was it North Dakota or something in the Midwest, and they have to film this. I don't know if they're doing a reality show, a documentary, or I think they're supposed to be doing a reality show. The director of it, Jeff Fisher, is a reality show producer. So I'm guessing it's a reality show. I mean, they kind of set up where it's mixed in with reality stuff where the people are talking about them doing the set and stuff and going there and all these bad things that are happening, and why do they have to keep doing this, and um it gets with it gets kind of annoying, and I don't like reality TV that much. Like, I don't watch it. It's not my kind of thing. I did not know that this was like that. Because if you think about a title like Killer Movie, you would think it's about a bunch of people on the set of a movie, you know, and they're shooting a movie and people are dying, behind the scenes. But no, this is about some kind of reality show thing that they're doing. And the director is a woman it's a big pain in the ass, and she like screws around with her assistant, and all the actors are fantastic. Like, I think I was super excited when I saw like Paul Wesley from who played Stefan in Vampire Diaries, and Kaley Cuoco, Penny from Big Bang Theory, and uh DeVito from Vampire Diaries. Um Lee Meester, she's been in a ton of stuff. All of those actors are fantastic. It's just I feel like I just got confused as to like, it was this like a reality show after the fact or something? I don't know. It was weird. Um, and who are they like? Uh, who's doing this? Like, I don't know. So the movie, like, starts and the worst thing is like I as an editor in my head, I would have put Leighton Meester's death scene first because the scene that they have like first is at a hockey game, and it's like this guy I guess got fired for asking about the what is it he got fired as a uh director for asking the people like why this this if this girl is worried that the uh father of this girl coming back from jail is the problem. And the biggest problem I have with it is like that should have been because I think it was out of sequence. It felt like out of sequence. Now I know they did a killer cut or like a director's cut of killer movie, and maybe that will explain things, or maybe that's edited better. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I only saw this one, and it's apparently like 13 minutes shorter or something, or 12 minutes shorter or whatever. So like I'm interested in seeing that at some point and maybe comparing, but like right as of right now, this cut is so like weird, like it starts with that the person gets fired, they do all this other stuff, then you see the girl, and I think she's already been dead before, like I don't know. Like then she dies, and then it all of a sudden the killer is out there. You don't know who it is. You find out later who it is. I will get into that because I don't care. We're gonna get into spoilers. We're gonna talk about the killer stuff because I felt like it was a really shitty motivation for him being a killer and sort of and also is very typical stereotypical of these kind of movies. So let's go back. Um so basically Paul Wesley gets the chance to take over as a director for this thing. And apparently he was a PA or something for Kaley Cuoco's character, and then she had him fired or something. I don't know. It was weird. And then she did remember him, and then she wanted to go and do some method acting and be a part of this project. But like I didn't understand anything. Like it was so confusing. And so I think I had wished it had a little bit more, it explained a little bit more. Um, but unfortunately I felt like the writing for it, sorry, Jeff Fisher. I thought it should have done better. By the way, speaking of Fisher, there's a guy in it, named uh something Fisher Price. And I was like, what in the heck is going on here? What was his name? Andy Fisher Price. And I was like, really? Is he part? And it was like Fisher spelled differently than the normal Fisher Price. So I don't think he's the family. So that was weird, in my opinion, of that name. But I guess that's his name. Like, whatever. Like, it's not like, I don't think he made that up. He might have. Um, but his name was Andy Fisher Price. He played Vance, this kid, and he was the guy I sort of suspected maybe because he was around when his girlfriend got killed and everything like that. So I thought maybe he was the one doing it and stuff, but I think they set you up to believe that. The one thing I was happy about, the dog that she's carrying in her hand, I'm just gonna tell you straight up, he lived. The dog lived. Thank God. I was worried about him for a second. I'm one of those guys that if you know me, you know I hate it when the dog dies. Unless there's a really good reason to kill the dog or something, or it really sets up for something bigger, then I'm fine with it. But most of the time, I hate when that happens. So thankfully, he lived, and honestly, I could care less about most of these characters. These two I actually like the most. Kaley did such a fun job. She played this bubbly slut kind of character who was just a lot of fun, kind of goofy. and she got to. It did have comedy in it, which made me happy because I think if this movie took itself like super seriously, I would have hated it. I would have thought this movie was awful. But the fact that at least they had some comedy in it, and they had comedy actors, that just it kind of made me happy. Jason London is in it. You know, Jason London, he was in like Dazed and Confused and many other movies and stuff, and it's just really nice to see him here for this movie. He plays the sound guy, Mike, and I'm gonna get into it right now because I don't want to talk so much about this movie. Uh, but he was the killer. And did I see it coming really? No. I mean, I kind of thought about it for a second because I was wondering where he was and that we never saw his body. So I was like, he could be the killer. But I was like, what would be his motivation? And he had two motivations. First of all, he had a crush on her and was making some kind of video that was about her for her or something. And then secondly, he escaped from a mental asylum, or whatever. So that was it. And I was like, you know, like the mental asylum thing is way overdone for these kind of slashers, and B, he didn't seem that off or anything. He didn't give me. I would have loved if he gave me more killer vibes that still threw people off. Like I would have loved if he had set it up where you thought he was dead, like you saw his body somewhere or something, and you thought he was dead, and he comes back and I mean, I would have liked that better. But honestly, out of everything, I think this was like a 3-star movie. I'm not going to go lower than that. Just because I actually did I was into it. Like the whole hour and a half, I was invested. There was never a time where I was like, this is boring. I want to shut it off, but I can't. And so I really enjoyed it, in that aspect. But, yeah, it's a 3-star movie for me. It could have been done better. I think the director's cut hopefully made more sense. I don't know if I think some of the editing was changed around or something. I uh I didn't care for the dad, like that was a red herring, and I didn't enjoy that. The coach, for a second you think maybe the coach is the killer, you know, but when you find out it's Mike the sound guy, you're just like, I mean, okay, sure. It's Mike the sound guy. All right, let's make him the killer. I mean, Jason London probably had a fun time, was really excited to play that role. But yeah, he wasn't what I was hoping. And there's a really great actor, Nestor, I forgot his last name. Nestor uh Carb Carbonell. And he was like the mayor in The Dark Knight, and he's been a bunch of stuff like The Image of You. He's in that new movie. Um, he's in uh he's in a bunch of movies. And oh wow, really? He's in Director's Cut, the newest Adam Rifkin movie written by Penn Jillette. Nice. I need to check that out at some point. We'll probably do that for Indie Film Cafe at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, let's see. He's a bunch of stuff. He's been an actor for a long time, and thankfully, he was pretty good in this. He's played the agent for Paul Wesley, and I think it was really funny because there's like one scene where he's been asked about uh what is it? He was Paul Wesley didn't want to be in that, cabin all the way out in the middle of nowhere, and and whatnot. And so his secretary, the agent's secretary, couldn't get him on the phone, and so he even said in the thing, usually I don't talk to people on the phone about this kind of stuff because it somehow works itself out. or whatever. And I just thought, yep, sounds like a typical agent. Um, I I did enjoy like I think if they had leaned more into the reality show thing, like they were making a reality show, like there, that would have been interesting. I just think that the murder started getting in the way and everything. And I think what should have happened, in my opinion, and this is how I really would have done it, I would have not called it a killer movie. I would have called it killer reality or something like that. And I would have made it where all the people start dying, uh, but not the people in the crew. So like people in the town that they're doing it about, and everything, they start dying around them and everything. And they got to figure out what's going on. But just like they did it here, kind of make it look like accidents. So people think that they were just accidentally murdered, that they weren't killed off, or whatever. And I think that would have been a better movie, but maybe they'll make another movie called Killer Reality. I don't even know if that's a title already. But that's what I would do if they like redid this in some other way, Because it's funny, the director of this, Jeff Fisher, he also directed if I'm correct, he directed another movie about a reality show thing. So he directed, what is it? There's another movie. Did he produce it too? So he did Killer Movie, and then he also did like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, did like an episode or so of that. Flip It to Win It, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He was co-executive producer for like 8 episodes of that. Always makes me weirded out about that. Like, how do you just become like an executive producer for a few episodes of a reality show or something? I don't know anything about this. If you know more about reality shows and stuff, please talk about this because I have no idea. I'm so confused. But yeah, where's okay, so he had directed Killer Movie and then Killer Reality. Shit. So that is the title. Maybe that's why I got in my head. But that's what I would have called it. The original title would have been Killer Reality. Um, that's funny. So I'm sure all you fans of Jeff Fisher were already like, he did that already. That's what I would have called the original movie. Because it's not about a killer on a set of a movie. It's a killer on a set of reality show. So Killer Reality does fit the bill of it. Maybe Killer Reality was his second one to kind of make up for a killer movie or whatever. But it is cool that it's on a double feature. And I am gonna do this midnight movie one, which I think is about a seedy theater, people being killed during a midnight movie. Kind of like popcorn, I guess. So I'm excited to see that. I like I said, this isn't an awful movie, like not like the worst movie you've seen or anything, but it's just it could have been so much better. And I feel like with the likes of like Kaley, who at that time, I don't know if she had already been getting famous from Big Bang Theory, but she had done Eight Simple Rules of Dating My Teenage Daughter or whatever, I think, something like that. Um, she had done she had done Charmed, I believe, things like that. So she was already getting her name out there as a actress, and the fact that they got her in this movie is awesome. And Paul Wesley, I don't think he broke out until the next year, where he did Vampire Diaries. So that was the thing that set him in motion. I'd love to see what I don't know what Paul's up to now. What is he up to now? Is he directing or acting anything? Big. Is he directing? Has he been directing at all? A lot of these actors end up directing at some point. Um, yeah, he's directed Vampire Diaries and Roswell, Legacies, Batwoman. Okay, so the CW really liked working with him. Um, and he acts. What is his newest thing? So, Voices of Hope, Words of Wisdom by Dr. Jane Goodall. History of Evil. What's that? A horror film? A family on the run from a corrupt state takes refuge in a safe house with an evil past. I think that's on Shudder. Yep, it's a Shudder original. All right. Well, there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys like Killer Movie? Is this like on the top, of your movie list for slashers? Is it not? Let me know if it's not. Like if you guys didn't enjoy this. I once again I would like to see the director's cut. I have this one which is an hour and 32 minutes. So I would like to see the hour and 20-minute director's cut because I would like to hear what Jeff Fisher had to say about that and everything. But aside from that, I think you guys might enjoy it, might not. If you like slasher films, I don't know. Until then, everybody, have a good one. Bye.